Let's face it, the human body is full of surprises. Even with advanced technology, there's so much that we continue to learn about our body. It has a ton of amazing tricks up its sleeves. Some people have abilities that could amaze you. These include things that you may have never thought about or figured were even possible. We think and believe that we know everything about it, but we're continually proven wrong. We don't all have the same abilities. Not all humans can do so many amazing things with their bodies. So we're not all blessed with contortionist-style flexibility, double-jointedness, or innate sense of rhythm, and that's a good thing. It allows us to complement each other, help each other out, and mutually enrich one another. However, some people seem more gifted than others and have the ability that 99% of us simply can't do. Find out if you're one of the special 1%. Today, we put together a list of 10 weird yet staggering things that almost nobody can successfully do. You might want to do some body flexing before we start this video, because we know you're going to try these tricks as we go through them. If you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and do that now. While you're at it, like and ring that notification bell so you never miss out on future updates. This is GenZone. Number 10. Tickle yourself. We all have a ticklish spot or two, which are never a secret from ones we know. Gentle tickling is fun. No one can be tempted to auto-tickle to amuse oneself. But sad to say, you can't tickle yourself. Well, you could possibly try, but nothing will happen. You may wonder and ask why. The answer lies at the back of the brain in an area called the cerebellum, which is involved in monitoring movement. According to neurological scientists, cerebellum can predict sensations when your own movement causes them, but not when someone else does. When you try to tickle yourself, the cerebellum predicts the sensation, and this prediction is used to cancel the response of other brain areas to the tickle. Number 9. Nose twitching. Although this is more on the common side, not everyone has the ability to twitch or wiggle their nose, like the iconic character Samantha Stevens did in Bewitched. Some people have trouble doing this trick. However, it's something that can be learned. You can teach yourself to wiggle your nose by looking in the mirror and moving your mouth back and forth quickly. Give it a try. I guess it's worth doing as it's a pretty cool trick. Number 8. Wiggling ears. Being able to wiggle your ears is unusual. Only 10 to 20% of the population could do it. Well, it's certainly genetic in the sense that our genes set up the muscles that let people wiggle their ears. According to a researcher who led the ear wiggling study, the mechanism behind ear movements is surprisingly sophisticated. Unlike most other facial features, ear muscles have their own accessory nucleus in the brainstem. This is basically the control area for muscle function. For those who weren't blessed with natural ear wiggling talent, fear not, because with practice, it's possible to train your brain to do it. Isolate your ear wiggling muscles, and in no time, you'll become the next ear wiggling YouTube sensation. Number 7. Gleeking. If you think the word gleek is an internet term, it may interest you to learn that it appears in Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. A character named Bottom says, "Nay, I can gleek upon occasion." Of course, it means something entirely different there. Gleeking is the term used when you project saliva from the submandibular gland after compressing it with your tongue. It's somewhat gross, but it's quite fascinating. Sometimes this happens by accident when you yawn or when you're being operated on at the dentist. But doing it deliberately and at will is a skill very few possess. It requires dedication and tongue dexterity. Number 6. Touching your nose with your tongue. Ever tried touching your nose with your tongue? Many have, and it's a lot harder than you'd think. Most people's tongues don't reach that far out, but some people can actually do this trick. It's tough that only 10% of the population can perform this act, which is known as Grolin sign in the medical world. In some instances, it can indicate connective tissue disorder. This disorder affects your joints, skin, and sometimes your blood vessels. You may have too much flexibility in your joints, so they get dislocated easily. Number 5. Fist in mouth. People who can fit their entire fist into their mouths are a rare anomaly. For most, it's a near impossible feat and incredibly heart-stopping. The majority of the population can only get half or barely a quarter of their fist into their mouths. Seriously, we've done studies on this stuff. Successfully fitting your entire fist in your mouth usually requires both a large mouth and small hands. If you aren't confident you could pull this off, it's best not to try. Number 4. Tongue tricks. Can you split or roll your tongue, perform a reverse T, flip your tongue 180 degrees, or make shapes like a clover leaf? These strange manipulations of your tongue are way too great. These all require muscle control and tongue dexterity. Some claim that they're genetic traits. Though this is heavily debated, approximately 75% of the population can roll their tongues. But genetics isn't the only factor, as some case studies showed children who can manipulate their tongues born from parents who couldn't. Whatever the mysterious origin of these tricks, they're pretty impressive though. Number 3. Elbow licking. Have you ever tried to lick your own elbow? I have. If you've tried and succeeded, you're one of the few people in the world who has this special talent. For most people, licking their elbow is impossible. It has to do with the length of your arm and the flexibility of your joints. Let's say your tongue and your elbow are lovers who desperately want to be together, but can't because your mouth and arm won't let them. For most people, your elbow is just far enough down your arm that you can't reach it. If you do this trick, you need to have a smaller forearm and a long tongue. But even with these unique features, you'll still need some good flexibility and an extreme desire to show off your unique ability. Number 2. Sneezing with your eyes open. Nope, you can't sneeze with your eyes open. Why? Because when you sneeze, the sneeze center in the brain sends coordinated motor impulses along nerves controlling muscles of the abdomen, chest, diaphragm, neck, face, eyelids, and various sphincters, as well as the mucus gland and blood vessels of the nose. All this happens automatically. You can't help it. This may be the body's way of preventing germs from entering the eye. Thanks, brain. You're always looking out for us. Sneezing is your body's way of getting rid of pollen, dirt, dust, and pet fur in the air. You also sneeze when you have a cold because your nasal cavities get swollen and more sensitive, triggering a sneeze. Now, if you did force open your eyes, would your eyeballs pop out when you sneeze? This actually happened astonishingly in 1982 case. This phenomenon is called eyeball subluxing. And there you have it, you've learned a new term. Number 1. Swallow a spoon of cinnamon. Have you heard of the cinnamon challenge? Ground cinnamon is actually the raw form of tree bark that has been ground into dust and a tasty baking addition. But it's impossible to eat on its own for most people because it's insoluble in water, so it's not surprising that humans have such an intensely negative reaction to it. Attempting to do so will likely burn the inside of your throat and could be deadly. There are countless online videos of people trying to conquer the cinnamon challenge, where a spoonful of the powder is ingested. According to Dr. Robert Glatter, emergency medicine physicians at Lenox Hill Hospital in New York City, choking is the main concern. Choking can aspirate the powder into your upper airways and small passages of your lungs. It can cause an inflammatory reaction. Glatter said that many people get a thrill out of trying such an impossible task, but don't realize that they are prompting the dangers that come with it. He added that the reaction why most people can't swallow that much cinnamon has to do with the spice-blocking glands that create saliva. He explains that when you eat food and need to swallow, your saliva helps lubricate the food down your esophagus and into your digestive system. The human body is incredibly amazing. Do you have any unusual abilities yourself? Maybe you're a mutant and have some special powers. Sound off in the comments section if you do. And if you're new to the channel, thumbs up, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you never miss out on future updates. Until next time.